everybody, my name is Markiplier, and I am a fish.
Propaganda works and I have officially decided to join Chaos and abandon the Imperium. But I am incredibly indecisive, and with all of these new Chaos options, I don't really know what to pick. So, I made 3 characters for my personal favorite Chaos Space Marine factions. But before we get into the characters, I would like to answer the question of what is Chaos? Chaos is the primordial annihilator. Chaos is the archenemy. Chaos is honestly pretty cool. Chaos can be many things. Change is in its nature, and with Chaos being, chaotic, it offers a unique type of absolute freedom when it comes to the creative part of the hobby. You can make literally anything and call it a Chaos faction. With Chaos, you are free to do whatever you please. But making an entirely custom Chaos faction is a bit much for me at the moment. I just want to know which one of the already known Chaos armies I will sell my soul to. And just to clarify, I am talking about Chaos Space Marines in particular, so let's get the obvious thing out the way first. The 4 Chaos Gods. We have Blood, the Meme, the Think, and the Stink. The 4 Chaos Gods are what shapes the aesthetic and the character of each Chaos faction. The gods are all different, and so are their worshippers. This is one major reason why Chaos is so popular, and why I personally also gravitate more towards Chaos factions. For example, if we were to put a Nurgle worshipper, a Khorne worshipper, a Slaanesh worshipper, and a Tzeentch worshipper next to each other, we could easily tell them apart, and also very easily determine what they do, how they function, and what their respective Chaos God represents. This one is obviously diseased and rotten. This one is angry and bloodthirsty. This one has a substance abuse problem, and this one does magic. And now, if we take 4 Loyalist Marines and put them next to each other, yeah. Go on and tell me which one of these is a Blood Angel successor. Of course, I'm not trying to say that Loyalist Marines offer no variety. That's definitely not true. But if we take the Marines as they come, then Loyalists are definitely more uniform than Chaos Marines, and therefore offer a bit less of the visual freedom and, creative variety. Chaos offers even more variety outside of the 4 gods. Chaos Undivided is the basic Chaos army. They are the box art, the standard. If you have Chaos in like a cinematic, it's probably gonna be them. Within Chaos Undivided, we can find Marines that get equal blessings from all gods. Chaos Undivided is like a blank slate for Chaos. Every Marine can be servant to all gods, but they don't have to be. Within Chaos Undivided, you can have Marines that worship 2 gods, all 4, or only 1, and still work together as a cohesive unit. Worshippers of Chaos Undivided can make equal use of the chaotic powers, but are still servants to the gods. So the first character I drew was for one of the best, if not the best, Chaos Undivided legions.
Hey! Hey, that could have killed me! Hey guys! We missed! Get another!
The Iron Warriors are definitely one of my favorite legions of all time. Their aesthetic, their war gear, and their characters are all just super cool. Also, Perturabo is my favorite traitor Primarch. And, just for the record, I like Demon Perturabo. And with this new design revealed, I'm just like...
Oh sisters, I'm back from war!
Hello, sailor!
For my Iron Warriors character, I wanted to make a Warpsmith. Warpsmiths are like the Chaos Lord equivalent for the Iron Warriors. They are not exact stand-ins, because the Iron Warriors are one of the more functioning traitor legions and haven't split into hundreds of warbands. But for today's purpose, the comparison will suffice. I started with a rather normal design. My headcanon has it so that the Iron Warriors just don't have a lot of decoration on their armor. I feel like their personality doesn't suit the whole Chaos Trim aesthetic, which is why I don't like to use normal Chaos Marines as Iron Warriors. If I'm gonna build an army, I would use the new Red Corsairs models or repurpose models from the Horus Heresy. The design was very straightforward, just a simple Marine in Mark III armor. And looking at the finished thing, it's kinda boring. Let's try again. In the lore, Iron Warriors don't really like the boons of Chaos. Doesn't mean they don't get or have some, but not all embrace it. Some go as far as to chop off the physical gifts of Chaos. So for example, if an Iron Warrior got gifted a tentacle arm, he would chop that off and replace it with a mechanic one. And with that in mind, I asked myself, what would the endgame of that practice look like? What would a character who was so blessed by Chaos, but rejected it on such a deep level, actually look and, act like? And I thought maybe something like an unnatural being of technology. something that might have one day been human but has become nearly unrecognizable as such. So I gave him legs inspired by the new Defiler model with a long spiky tail. Like, he has ascended to Demon Princehood but has rejected Chaos to such an extent that he has now built himself into like a technological Demon Prince. And I'm really happy with this design. It looks really good, and he's probably one of the characters that I'm actually going to kit bash if I'm ever gonna build like an army. Well, what's next? Yeah, Death Guard. I like them. Their aesthetic's just amazing. The Death Guard kind of feel like the most chaosy Marines to me. Since their whole gimmick is insane physical corruption, they feel the most removed from their initial humanity. The idea of Space Marines being so diseased and rotten that they basically become one with their armor, shambling zombies pressing on against any types of damage. It's just so fascinatingly disgusting, and I can't help but be enticed by it. I mean, I was so enticed that I bought an entire army, Primarch included, so that should say something. Another thing that's just awesome about the Death Guard is the amount of choice you have. Not just on the tabletop, even though they are probably the most represented Chaos faction. Their models are just so goddamn gorgeous. I mean, just look at them. Look at my boys, aren't they beautiful? But I'm getting off track here. In art, we get inherently more freedom right off the bat. Some things just aren't feasible with kit bashes and conversions. Okay, that might just be because I'm bad at it. Who's to say? With art, we can just do whatever we want without needing to buy copious amounts of kits, green stuffing, and just... I think we can get more variety in less time. Even though, if you've ever seen like a properly kit bash Death Guard model, them shit's amazing. Like, not gonna lie to you, properly kit bash Death Guard models are just some of the best looking models out there, so, you know, just saying. But yeah, at the end of the day, Death Guard are all unique in their embrace of the Grandfather. And me personally, I don't really care for the excessive mutation. Okay, listen. The idea of the Death Guard, what fascinates me about the Death Guard is the idea of zombie Marines. Like these immortal dead things just shambling on and just coming at you without stopping. Like you can't do anything. You can put a bullet through their head and they just keep coming. And honestly, that's kind of not the vibe I get with the modern Death Guard interpretation. They're still really cool. Like really, really, really cool. And I mean it when I say they're probably the best looking models. But I like my Death Guard rotten and rusted. I want my Death Guard to look like they are actively decaying and regenerating at the same time. And all these extra mutations just don't quite cut it for me. It feels less like stagnant decay and more like Lovecraftian mutation. That's why I designed my Death Guard character to be less obviously mutated. I toned down the excessive tentacle growths, extra mouths, and kinda went more on the rust, grime, pustules, and fungus growing all over them. And looking at the results, all in all, I'm decently happy with this design. But you can definitely see that I don't have as much experience drawing like Death Guard Marines as I do with regular Marines. So I'll probably have to revisit this in the future. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about the Red Corsairs. Being some of the newer Chaos Marines in the lore, the Red Corsairs bring a fresh vibe to Chaos in general. To the extent of my knowledge, they are the only available Chaos Marine group not directly affiliated with the OG Traitor Legions. And that makes them more interesting to me. The idea that the Imperium is such a broken system that it basically created a second Horus Heresy and just a second wave of Chaos Marines is just very good world building. And also, they are space pirates, and that's just objectively cool as fuck. Huron is a beast, the new minis are awesome, the color scheme is just kissing my eyes, and the lore goes hard. To reflect how insanely cool the Red Corsairs are, I put the character for this faction in Terminator armor. The coolest armor in the entire setting. Specifically Tartaros pattern armor. Tartaros pattern is the most maneuverable of the 4 Terminator patterns. And while it offers the least protection, it's still Terminator armor, and it only makes sense to be more maneuverable during quick boarding assaults on other vessels. Because, you know, pirates. The rest of the drawing is just kind of standard, I must say. It's just a relatively standard Chaos Terminator. The Red Corsairs haven't gotten any unique Terminator models to them. Right now it's just standard Raider models. I hope we're gonna get like specific Red Crosshair Terminators in the future, but this is what I came up with. The only thing I really thought I could, like, actually make specific to the Red Crosshairs was the weapons. Because this character is a pirate, and a pirate needs his cutlass. But why just stop at one? We can go higher. We can give him 2 sabers. Looking back, I probably should have given him a parrot, but I feel like that's already what Huron's little dog creature is, you know, it's kind of like his parrot. I might revisit this in the future, but for now, this is what it is. With all of the characters done, I still can't really decide. I think I am leaning a bit more towards the Iron Warriors, but that might just also be a recency bias with the Perturabo reveal. Hey guys, this is Endcard Sachu here, and I just wanted to say that this video should have been out for like months now. Things kept happening in real life. I know, I hate that place too. And these things made it kind of difficult to work on videos, but that shouldn't be a problem anymore. And more videos should be coming out with a more consistent upload schedule. I'm not gonna make any promises, but I'll try my best. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for waiting, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!